afternoon. This is your host, Grishan, and we are here with the CEO and founder of House to Home Real Estate, and he will be taking us through the Dubai Real Estate 101. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our guest, Mr. Pember.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, and we are humbled to have you in our show.
Thank
And
you.
I am sure
Likewise.
a lot of people will be learning. They're here to learn. They're here to understand how real estate actually works in Dubai.
I'll try my best to answer as much as possible.
Thank you very much. So, guys, relax and enjoy the show. Learn something, get something, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let us all understand how Dubai real estate works. Welcome to the show. This is the GM Show _ at DSP. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Deepak, I've been having a lot of people ask me about real estate. First of all, let's define real estate. What is real estate?
Oh, well, real estate is categorized as a fixed asset actually. So something which, immovable. So every other asset, like if you hold a mobile phone itself is an asset.
Correct.
Your jewelries, that is also categorized as an asset.
Correct.
So everything which is so those are categorized as a movable asset, and real estate is something which is fixed, attached to the ground, immovable.
Yes.
That's why it's categorized in a fixed asset actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. So we'll go one into the UAE real estate market.
Okay.
So many years back, a lot of people were wondering how would someone not of origin of this country actually own a property here.
Yeah.
Well, previously it wasn't easy to own a property here, but over time, and with the new regulations and with the new, the visions of the leaders who were here,
Yeah.
they've made it possible for people to actually own property here. So I'd like you to give us just a brief history of,
Yeah.
where is UAE coming from in the real estate market world?
Okay, so it's a great question to begin with. A lot of people, they still ask me, whether we can own the property in Dubai, or they have a myth that they need to have a local partner to have a real estate on their name, or it's a leasehold, freehold. These kind of questions I normally get from the potential clients, or who doesn't know about real estate in Dubai.
Correct.
So it all started in 2002, where His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, he decided to, let even the expatriates, buy an equity in properties out here, or they can own a property here. So it all started with a concept called leasehold.
Correct.
Now, when it comes to leasehold, what we are talking of is a long-term leasehold where the land belongs to someone, the construction of the building is done, and then you own the apartment in that building. So you don't have a ownership on the land.
All right.
You just own the apartment.
Yes.
So that lease is anything minimum from 30 years to 99 years actually.
Correct.
So
And this is renewable, please.
it's renewable.
All right.
But since being expatriates, it wasn't that well accepted in the market at the beginning, because still you're not have a share of equity in the land. So
Correct.
people were a bit uncertain whether to get into it or no.
Correct.
Then understanding this issue, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed then converted a lot of leasehold areas into freehold areas.
Correct.
So now, yes, anyone from anywhere, from any country, even though you don't have a residence visa here, you don't have any existence or presence here,
Correct.
you can still own 100% freehold property in
Correct.
Dubai.
Correct.
Where
That
you,
mean- and
on
that-
the title deed, it's only your name.
And that means you own the property and the land.
Exactly. So if you are buying a villa, so obviously the villa and the land where the villa is constructed, you own both. And if it's a building, then the apartment and the proportionate land where the building is standing, it both are, you become the owner of that.
Interesting. And now, what's the process? What's the process? Let's say someone from India
Yeah,
has never been to Dubai,
yeah.
and they want to invest in Dubai. What's the first step?
So as I mentioned before, you need not have to be present here.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Dubai real estate market. The process and everything is very regulated.
Correct.
There are no loopholes actually.
Correct.
So even though you are in India, you can, you can buy through a primary source and the secondary source. Now, when I say primary source, we can directly buy from a developer.
Correct.
So, if it's, for example, if it's Emaar, you're buying something from Emaar. So, all you need to do is you just need to transfer funds from India to Emaar account directly. You don't need to transfer it to any broker actually or any third party. You can directly transfer it to Emaar's account after obviously selecting your unit and all that. And they then issue the booking form and SPAs and all that, and then you continue with the payment plan, whatever they are offering.
Correct.
Which you can directly send it from India or any part of the
Any
world.
part
no,
of the world.
or
I mean, it applies
to every-
globally.
Globally,
Globally.
yeah.
All right. Great. And
And with the secondary market, in fact, Dubai is I guess that's the only place where they are also giving mortgage to non-residents. So even though you never been to Dubai, you live in India, based on your financials back in India, you can actually avail a mortgage up to 50% in the property in Dubai.
correct.
So many people are not aware of this, so
It's information that should
this-
be out there.
Yeah. So this is very much possible from Dubai
Yes.
in Dubai real estate
Yes,
market.
yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this short break. Hold your thought. Thank you. Welcome back to our show. We are defining and putting across Dubai real estate to you so that you understand that you can actually be an investor and an owner here, because laws in this country are changing for the betterment of all expatriates, not just for us who are already here, but also for you who is not here. So, Mr.
Absolutely.
Deepak, we've come back and we were going through the process of someone who has never been in Dubai being able to buy property here.
Yeah.
All right, and we have also discussed that you, as an expatriate or as a foreigner, someone who has never been in Dubai, is able to also get mortgage
Yeah.
on your property, 50 up to 50%.
Absolutely.
Correct. Now that is information that probably has not been shared, or probably people do not know. Now we will get into also information that we know.
Okay.
So we have someone who is ready to settle here, has a job. What next?
Okay.
They want a property. What next? Where do they start?
Okay. So I mean, obviously, in Dubai, you have a lot of new communities which are coming up now,
Correct.
which has everything possible within the community.
Correct.
Now, the only thing you step out is for your work or for the school,
Correct.
of your kids. So, otherwise, mostly the communities which are coming up in Dubai are self-sufficient. It has everything. It will have community centers. It will have supermarkets, laundry, all your, daily requirements or essentials, whatever you need. So primarily, the communities decided in Dubai as per your workplace or the school. So since it's a huge area, so obviously you cannot live in north and you're traveling all the way to the south. Although commutation is very easy
Correct.
and very fast,
Correct.
but then generally people decide as per their workplace and as per their school. So because every community has its own charm.
Correct.
So and obviously considering the budget, it can actually fit into, I would say, in all the pockets, from middle class to upper middle class or to affluence and all that.
Correct.
So I think it goes by that.
All right. Now, you have identified the community you want. What next? What next after that? Are you probably looking to get a mortgage? Probably you have the cash.
Yeah.
You know.
So it means
So what's the process? What's
Okay.
the process like?
So when you enter in the country and you're absolutely new, you got a new job and all, you may not get a mortgage immediately or of a full eligibility, because as a resident you're eligible for a 75% mortgage from the bank. So generally banks, they ask for 6 months income statement, where your salary is crediting
Correct.
regularly.
So you need to be in the country for 6 months to be approved for the mortgage.
For full eligibility,
Alright.
of 75%.
Okay.
Then your down payment shrinks. You don't need to put that high down payment.
Correct. And what's the highest mortgage percentage that one is eligible to?
75%. 75% is something you can avail from the bank,
Okay.
and 25% is something you should have in your pocket
In your pocket.
to make the down payment. Or alternatively, you have an option where there are developers who are giving this payment option for a ready properties. Like the property is ready, you move in,
Yeah.
and they give you a spread of probably 5 years, 7 years,
Okay.
and you can pay directly to the developers, instead of going to the bank and taking a mortgage.
Correct.
So that.
But this again applies to off-plan projects.
No, I mean, as I said, there are ready units as well,
Okay.
where you can pay 10%, move in, start living in it, and then you have a spread of 5 to 7 years, probably
Alright.
8 years, 10 years, depending on developer to developer, and you don't need to knock the doors of the bank.
Great. And once you have all this set for you, either you can decide to go on the ready projects with a payment plan,
Yeah.
or you go for the off-plan projects
That's another option.
with a payment plan.
Yeah. So what you can do is, as you're new, so you can start taking a property on rent for a couple of years,
Yes.
and simultaneously you can start putting on these under construction projects, which gives you this flexible payment options.
Correct.
Once your property is ready, then you can obviously move into your own property.
Correct.
So that's another.
Correct.
That's the third alternative.
Yeah. Great. Now, one question that has been bothering me for a very long time is, why is real estate a good investment?
Well, I mean, let me, calm your botheration. So, our one good thing which we learn a lot of things from our ancestors, and one good thing they always said, that a real estate can get sick, but it will never die, and because it will always have some intrinsic value.
Correct.
All the other investment has a potential or capability to go zero or burst out.
Correct.
So if you are probably investing in shares, there are likelihood that the company may burst and you lose everything
Correct.
if you are not well diversified and all that.
Correct.
And so as any other investment has a potential of going to zero. Whereas real estate will always have a value.
Correct.
Now it depends on the market forces, external forces. It depends on the demand and supply in the area, in the country overall. So we have seen these waves in Dubai previously, and we have seen how Dubai has come up well, with these challenging times and all that. So I would say that it also has a, for an investor it also gives you this rental returns.
Returns. Yeah.
So someone who's looking for a passive investment, so it's an amazing vehicle to get that passive regular income. Someone who is at the age of retirement and looking for these passive flow of income, real estate could be one of the very good vehicle, to
Yeah.
to get these forms of income, regular income.
Correct.
So I categorize and not to forget at the end is the appreciation value. So
Correct.
any location which eventually gets mature, you have everything in the community now. Then obviously it appreciates from the original value what you buy. So yeah, I mean,
And doesn't that make it the best? Because if this is the only investment that cannot go to zero,
yeah.
then definitely it is one of the best investments.
I mean, see, so a best investment it's very subjective.
I know.
It may be best for you, but may not be best for me.
Correct.
So some people who are very high risk taker, they may not be looking at investing in real estate. So probably for them, shares, bonds are the instruments which they would have the affinity towards.
Correct.
And also it's something, real estate, you have to have a longer term view. So when we talk about a right return of investment, we are talking about 10 to 15 years of horizon.
Correct.
So people who are looking for who are impatient, or probably who are looking for a return probably in 1 or 2 years, then real estate is not. It's completely
It's
no.
not the best.
You may not get such returns in 1 year, because you start when you acquire real estate, it has a cost involved.
Correct.
It has overheads of
Correct.
transfer charges, agency fees, trustee fees, and all that. So it accumulates a big amount, which obviously you cannot get it in 1 year.
Correct.
So it has a horizon of 10 to 12 years, 15 years.
All right.
And that's, if you have such kind of long-term investment plan, then yeah, it's a perfect investment.
And also something else, I just to add on that is, you have to understand whatever you're getting into.
Exactly. So you need to, before you get into any investment, there are two things you should always know. Why are you getting into the investment? What is the objective? You shouldn't be diverting from your objectives, and second thing is how easy my exits are.
Correct.
So if I am looking for a highly liquid asset, then don't get into real estate, because this is not very highly liquid asset.
Absolutely.
So tomorrow, if you need money, it won't be sold today. You won't be realizing money out of it in 1 day.
Yes.
It has a process. Markets may not be favorable selling that time.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, so you need to be careful, and you should know why are you entering.
Correct. Correct. And that brings us to other question where, as someone who wants to invest in Dubai,
Mm-hmm.
and someone who has done his research,
Mm-hmm.
why would I need a professional expertise of an agent
Mm-hmm.
to buy a property here?
Okay. Well, to answer your question, when it comes to such high value deals, generally people prefer having someone in the middle.
Yeah.
Because what happens, even if you have done your research, even if you know about the market, but you don't know the seller, right? I mean, how would you, like tomorrow, if you want to buy an apartment in a particular building, you're not going to knock the doors of any seller. So
Correct.
you need a person in between.
Correct.
Even if you know the seller,
Mhm.
let's put it this way, even if you know the seller, what is the next step?
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to go ahead with that?
All right.
You need to have a professional certified agent who knows the entire process, who can be a catalyst in between to get the deal done, who can be a bridge in between. Uh, Tomorrow, if you identified a seller and he'll ask me, okay, let's go ahead, give me the money, and then we go for a transfer and all that. But will you be comfortable giving money to anyone?
Right.
And
That's a question a lot of
Exactly.
people should ask.
yeah, so because you're dealing with so many nationalities, with all due respect, you don't know with whom you are dealing.
Yes.
So it's always advisable to have someone who knows the entire process and the complete regulations.
Correct.
So he's the one who takes care of both the parties, not
Correct.
only one party. He's not a pro seller or he's not a pro buyer. He's someone who will balance out the deal
Correct.
and take it to the execution.
That is well answered, Mr. Deepak. I mean, I'll put it in a situation where where your body is hurting, but you don't just go to the chemist.
Exactly.
You have to go to the doctor.
Doctor.
The doctor prescribes. Even if you know the medicine,
Exactly.
you still need that doctor's prescription.
Because there is an element of risk,
Yes.
1% of risk.
Yes.
So if you want to mitigate that risk also, you go through an expert, the same medicine, but yeah, at the end you are now relaxed.
Done. Great. Now, we have come all the way to buying a property, and I just want you to touch on a bit on what are the do's and don'ts of an investor.
Mhm.
He's 100% decided that I'm going to invest in properties.
Correct.
And also, before you answer that, I want to ask, why would you invest in Dubai as compared to London or Singapore or New York?
Well, I mean, see, every place brings its own opportunity. So I wouldn't want to comment that those places are not good or Dubai is the best. I don't want to endorse that way. However, there are certain points which I would like to put it on table where, this is probably one of the highest rental yield location,
Right.
because generally what I hear, you go to London, you go to Singapore, Hong Kong, Mumbai, your rental yields are probably 0.5%, 1%, 1.5%, 2% max. Over here, even if you're in one of the most matured location or one of the best locations where value-wise your property value is very high, but still your rental yields are not less than 4.5%.
Correct.
And it can go up to 6%, 7%, 8%, 10%.
Yeah.
So as I said, in Dubai, this can be one of your passive income, tool, where a lot of people and especially a lot of people being in an Islamic place where you have Muslims who don't keep money in bank. They keep money in bank, but they don't take interest, and they find it amazing tool or vehicle to get their passive income through investment
Correct.
in property.
Correct.
And it's a very high return on investment what you get actually in Dubai. And since it's very dynamic also by the city, the way it has been come up and the way it has been managed by our
The
government.
authorities and government, yes.
They are always very quick in reviving. So if you go through any stress, like we have gone through pandemics, we have gone through so many other waves, banking crisis and all that, but Dubai has revived really well, and probably they are in top 5 to revive quickly.
Economies,
So it gives you that confidence, that boost, that okay, I'm at a place which is highly secure. It's something which gives me security of life, which gives me best of the best infrastructure, lifestyle.
Correct.
What people are buying as of today.
Correct.
Yeah.
Great, great. And what are the do's and don'ts for an investor?
So I would say when you decide, firstly, any for any investor, for any investment, you should know why are you entering. That is the first do. You should know the objective of entering into any investment. So vis-a-vis, it applies to real estate as well.
Yes.
Once you know the objective, then do a proper research.
Yes.
Once your research is done, get a checkpoint on your research with an expert who are already in the field.
Yes.
So get connected only with the certified agents who has an experience. Who are not just just started and you expect comments on your research. So try and get involved with the certified agents
Yes.
who has experience, who has lived in Dubai, who has seen those waves in the past. So once you do your checkpoint, okay, my research is matching with the advice,
Yes.
then get into it.
Correct.
Never get, I would say, carried away with someone who's trying to change your mindset or objectives and all. But because at the end, out of impulsive decision, you may end up buying something, but over a period you will realize that it's not aligned with my objectives.
Correct.
So then you started wrong and you got into a wrong investment.
Correct.
Then it becomes
A hassle for you.
Hassle.
Agreed. And also, I think when you're looking into the property investment, you need to keep the emotional side out of the whole process.
Absolutely.
You look at it as a business.
Absolutely. Or I would say, so when you are into any kind of an investment, emotion does play a lot of role. I mean, sometimes your emotions can take the things into a completely wrong way.
Correct.
So bring emotions to the product you already bought, but not on the strategies. So emotional strategies are not successful than practical strategies. So
Correct.
and stick to your strategy.
Yeah.
Once you decided, okay, this is my strategy, this is my objective, then believe in it and stick to it. If you keep changing your strategy, then you don't know what is the end result,
Correct.
and you don't know where you're heading to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, we have expounded quite a lot on that subject, and I just wanted to look into a different angle altogether. So you have decided to buy a property or a piece of land, and is it advisable for you to put all your money into real estate or into one property? How can you diversify whatever amount of money that you have, whether it's $1 million, whether it's 500,000, whether it's 200,000?
Correct.
How can you diversify that? Is it advisable to put all this money into one
So
particular?
never. I mean, it's not only for real estate. In any investment, any form of investment, whether it's real estate, share market, bonds or whatever it is, you should always diversify your investment.
Correct.
Never ever put all your eggs into one basket, because if anything goes wrong with that basket, you lost it, everything.
Correct.
And never ever put all your money, no matter how attractive the deal is. You know that you're going to, you're not doing wrong. You know the after effects and all that. I mean, you're confident that even if I'm entering now, I know that at some point of time I'm going to exit with a profit. You know it already.
Correct.
Still you should diversify and not put everything into that, because there is always an element of risk everywhere in any investment. So if you have a corpus in your bank account, ensure that you're not putting everything in the down payment, or putting everything into real estate payment plan and all that.
Correct.
Ensure that you have enough in your bank account to in terms of contingencies in times of crisis and all that. And if anything goes wrong with this investment, it's not hampering your routine or your normal life.
Correct.
You're still managing your family, you're still managing your kids' education. There are a lot of event which happens in your life, marriages, education, travel plans, and all that. So you ensure that it's not hampering that.
Correct.
And whatever extra you have in your corpus,
That's what you invest in.
that's what you invest, and you're free to invest.
Great. Now, just to put it in a very layman's language, if I have $1 million, how much do I invest?
Okay, I mean, quite a tricky question.
This is my life savings. All right, I've got $1 million,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking of putting it in real estate. How much would you advise someone in my situation to invest?
So I mean, as I said, you ensure your minimum requirement, for another 10-15 years. I spread out your expenses on the Excel sheet. That this is minimum what I need. I cannot touch that. That should ideally go in some savings plan.
Correct.
Where any time you can liquidate and it's highly liquid. After that, whatever is left, now that could be, now if you spread out, probably your figure may come 300,000.
Correct.
So the remaining 700,000 I can easily invest into real estate, because I've ensured that I have 300,000 for another 10-15 years.
Would you advise someone to invest not more than 65% of whatever amount they have?
I mean, see, again, it goes with the financial planning of an individual. So
Agree.
every individual is different.
I'm talking of
So there's no definite
definite.
percentage to it.
Correct.
So there are people who are very high spenders. For them it may not be, because to sustain their lifestyle, they may not be in position to put on every 65%, or rather all 65%. So all what I'm trying to say is, every individual has to go with the process of financial planning, again with an expert, and understand where they stand, where they want to reach, what is the bridge to reach that.
Correct.
Now it can be real estate, it can be stock exchange, it can be any other vehicle.
Correct. Correct.
They can pick and
Correct.
choose.
Very well said. Very well said, Mr. Deepak, and that goes a long way.
Yeah,
It goes
because
a long
see,
way.
it's very subjective. I
Yeah.
mean, every individual has a different situation. I mean, you have a situation, I am in a different situation.
Correct.
So we cannot have a same result. For you, probably 65%. You may manage, and you can do it. For me, probably even 50% is very high. So it all depends on individuals.
Totally understood. But the bottom line is, do not invest all your money
In one thing,
in
and also
one
do your
investment.
complete research. Have a checkpoint on your research. Don't go with an impulsive decisions or impulsive buying.
Correct.
Because when you generally go to when you receive we have seen this happening in the past. You have regular phone call coming from agents, and they are extremely aggressive, and to a point where you get convinced.
Correct.
It may not be matching with your objectives, but you do get convinced. You go to a developer's office, it's so exciting.
Yes.
Everything looks so great, and you end up buying. But then later you realize that, oh my God, what I've done.
Yes.
So you have a lot of such people,
Correct,
or
correct.
where they end up being excited, and then they are not aligned with their objectives.
Correct. Correct. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, I'm gonna dive into equity in Dubai.
Okay.
Has this been a practice, or it just came?
So when you say equity,
In the sense that I can actually take a mortgage on top of my property.
well, yeah. So basically, it's a good question. I mean, if you have a property in Dubai which is fully paid, okay, you can actually knock the doors of the bank and ask for an equity release.
Correct.
So if you're eligible with your income statements and all that, if you're eligible for an equity release, so you can actually mortgage your property and get cash in your bank account.
Correct.
So that's called equity release.
Yes.
You're releasing equity of the property
Yes.
in your bank account.
Yes. Interesting, interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having Mr. Deepak with us. We will definitely have him back again. He's a man oozing wisdom in real estate.
Mhm.
So we'll definitely be calling on you again as questions come. What is that one parting shot that probably you would tell our viewer in regards to real estate, Dubai real estate?
So I would say it has immense opportunity still lying. You know, in we see the way the city is growing and coming up,
Correct.
and the systems which are in place, the lifestyle what people are enjoying. So I see there is an immense opportunity. You know, considering the security of life, what's happening around the world. So in future, people are not going to, you know, calculate returns on investment only by numbers. They will
Correct.
also calculate by happiness index, how happy I am in the place where I'm living. Because people are now buying lifestyle.
Correct.
You know, they may not be buying only numbers.
That's true.
So there's Dubai has a lot to offer you that way,
Yes.
and with on top of it the security of life.
Yes.
You know, so I see the immense opportunity in Dubai, and get connected with an expert into the field who can advise you how you can leverage your money.
Your money. True.
There is only one way to make high or exponential growth you get is by leveraging your investments.
Correct.
So you should know how to leverage your investments, and you know, get in touch with someone who understands this, who knows the concept of leveraging, who can guide you through the entire process,
True.
and who have been in Dubai for at least 10 years or and above.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure, and we'll be calling on you again, Mr.
It will
Deepak.
be my pleasure coming
Yes.
back again.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Comment, put all the questions that you have about Dubai real estate. We will be answering you now or tomorrow or whenever you post the questions. We'll definitely be answering you. God bless. Take care.
Thank you.